Good evening. Federal Treasurer Scott Morrison just handed down his budget for 2017. I'm joined tonight with Con Michalakis, Chief Investment Officer from Statewide Super, a great member and partner of ours. Con, welcome.
Great to be here.
Well, it wasn't exactly Christmas for South Australian businesses in tonight's budget, but there were absolutely some good points. Probably the things that sticks out the most is the extension for the instant asset write-off for purchases of up to $20,000. Allowing businesses to invest and get a tax break on that. We saw a lot of pre-announcements in the lead up to tonight's budget. The $100 million Advanced Manufacturing Fund targeted towards the automotive sector. Now, we're not 100% sure how much South Australian businesses will get from that, but it will help to transition, particularly the components sector and the supply chain. Earlier this week as well, we saw funding for the proton beam therapy and the potential for a SAMRI-2, as well as equity funding for the solar thermal plant in Port Augusta. Probably one of the things that concerns Business SA the most is the levy that will be imposted onto businesses employing foreign workers. $1,200 to $1,800 for temporary foreign workers and anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 for permanent hires. Now, particularly regional businesses are telling us that they struggle to find skilled workers even when they're paying above market rates of pay. So this is going to impede them from finding the right people and add extra costs to their business. Con, what are your thoughts?
In terms of the economic environment, it's very much a tax and spend, old style Keynesian. Let's tax them, let's spend in the short term. Hopefully we get the growth up in the long term to get the budget back into a surplus. Last year was all about innovation, startup, new capital, entrepreneurship. This is very old school. It's about rail, it's about infrastructure spending, it's about health spending, it's about education spending. So, and it's been funding that by foreign workers. There's also a bank levy. So it's sort of gone back to the old school and spending money locally to get the economy up, sort of post the mining boom. I think the forecasts in the out years are quite optimistic, and I'd be somewhat surprised if you see those surpluses given where the economy is today.
Sure. Let's not forget last year's budget, particularly the tax enterprise plan. We just saw legislation pass through the Senate a month and a half ago, which will see tax reductions for businesses with a turnover of less than $50 million implemented very shortly. That tax enterprise plan, Business SA, we're very supportive of, so we can't forget that as well.
Yeah, and hopefully, the budget has now a path for jobs growth and to get into a sustainable deficit position.
Con, thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you, Anthony.
And thanks for listening.